Good morning and welcome back to Keto Living with Dale and Judith. It's the 5th day after Dale's liver transplant surgery. And it's time to make my morning coffee. I'm going to make 3 servings because 1 can of coconut milk makes 3 servings. It's now Tuesday morning, but Wednesday through Monday, I've been so overwhelmed. The best I could do was take some pictures, but now I feel like I have the brain power to film. The challenge is having the mental energy to think about what I want to tell you. We arrived here Wednesday. This is the housing for cancer patients and family. I have a suite and it's been absolutely fabulous. So quiet, it's been perfect for me. So Dale had lunch and after that it's just clear liquids till midnight and then fasting. About 5:30 Thursday morning, we met my niece Maggie down in the lobby. We talked a little bit, then we walked her over about 6:15 to pre-op. Maggie's surgery starts first. I went with her back into pre-op, then I came back out to the waiting room and waited for Dale to be called. About 8:30, Maggie went back to the OR. Her surgery started first. And her surgery was robotic. It's better for her recovery. But it's a slower surgery using robotics. So they analyze the liver first, and then they remove 60%, and they leave 40% with Maggie. And then when they're ready, Dale's surgery started. Every hour, the hospital would text me about Maggie, how she was doing. Her caregiver hadn't yet arrived, but she was flying in, and she was the sweetest, most intelligent, fabulous woman. Dale's procedure started at 1. His anesthesiologist, the one that watches him, helps him sleep, and watches his vitals, his breathing, and everything, she would text me often, herself, very detailed, let me know what was going on. And sometimes she would add information about Maggie too. She was the best communicator. She would tell me specifics. The liver's out, he's doing great. Very personal texts. Maggie's surgeon called me when it was finished. I think it was about 4:30, and said surgery was over, they were sewing her up, etc. And then they were going to bring her to ICU. And I could go over and see her at about 6:30. She was really very tired, but she could communicate, and she was doing okay. So proud of Maggie. Dale's surgery lasted until about 10 p.m. because it's either 3 or 4 veins and arteries, vessels and arteries have to be sewn in, and that's very fine, delicate surgery. Then the bile duct has to be connected. So finally, when they were over, they also moved him to ICU, and I really don't know what time he arrived there. We had both already discussed that it was too late for me to go back to the hospital. He wouldn't even know I was there, and Johns Hopkins is the best. I trusted them to take care of him overnight, and that I would see him in the morning. And when it was finished, Dale's surgeon called me. He called me about 2 hours before they were totally finished. His part was done. He's the top liver surgeon guy. He had several surgeons in the room. It was a very complicated surgery. And I kept hearing the words perfect, wonderful, excellent. No blood was required, no complications. Couldn't have gone better. I was really happy. Because this suite is connected to the hospital, I was able to come back here and wait and rest. There's no way I could have stayed in the waiting room 18 hours. I'm 60 now, and with the rheumatoid arthritis, I need to be able to take care of Dale when I get home. It's just me. We have people helping drive, fix things, shopping for us if needed, but as far as daily caregiving, it's up to me. So this has been perfect setup. Because Dale has cancer, I had access to this family housing. It's not free, but it's much cheaper than a hotel. So I came back here to wait, and that was perfect for my needs. And I was busy texting our 4 kids, my parents, my 2 sisters, the friend who is coordinating for us. She's our point of contact at home. She contacted everybody else. I had to watch for the hospital text, for the anesthesiologist text about Dale. I think I was managing 11 text threads. Dale did have an interpreter before surgery, full time, and the second he woke up, an interpreter was there. I really appreciate them coordinating that. When he woke up, the anesthesiologist told me he was awake. They had taken the breathing tube out. He was very groggy, but communicating. And the next morning, I walked over. It's simple. I just walk out my door, to the right, down the stairs, and I'm at the parking garage. I walk through the sky bridge, like an inside glass bridge, and I'm at the hospital. Go up to the 9th floor, and surgical ICU, and there's Dale. And later, when he and Maggie were moved to the transplant floor, it's on the transplant unit, it's on the same floor. So Maggie and Dale started out together in ICU in separate rooms, and I was able to see them both. When I went in, it was dark in Dale's room. The nurse was fabulous. She was taking care of Dale while explaining everything to me, then showing me the meds on the computer screen, which many of them I'm familiar with because of our son's heart transplant in 2008. Can you imagine 2 transplants in the same family? Wow. Still kind of blows my mind. Prep has been critical for me. Having things ready to go in the freezer has been perfect because I don't feel like eating. All this stress just is still on my appetite. My mind's constantly spinning, and all that's normal. So I've had to force myself to eat. I eat breakfast, of course, my coffee. It's less than what I have at home. And my yogurt, meat, and vegetables, I have all those at lunch, just one time. I am eating less calories than I do at home, but I'm still have all this energy from the fat burning from ketosis. So I've learned to set out tomorrow's vegetables and yogurt in the freezer. So tomorrow is, hang on, let me look. red peppers and cranberry. That's for today. I set that out yesterday. And then my 4-ounce pork patty, I just leave in the freezer. I'll cook that from frozen. And that'll be my lunch. Yesterday, Dale finally got to eat real food again. It's been 5 days with only eating either nothing or clear liquids. They have to wait for the guts to wake up. At the beginning, you can only have a little bit of ice chips. Then at the second day, not morning, but later in the second day, they let him have clear liquids. I mean, just tiny sips. But today, everything's fine. Yesterday, seeing eating, he did okay. So I'm going to measure out some cereal to bring over to him. I bought this small scale to bring with me, and I didn't realize you can't zero it out. So I would not recommend this scale. Now I know why it was cheaper. You need to read those descriptions better. So one serving is going to be 36 grams, which is going to be 5 grams of net carbs. Because the prednisone Dale is taking to prevent organ rejection, his blood sugar will go up. So they now have him on insulin, but we'll see what happens when we get home. Protein is really important for Dale's healing. So here the incisions from there all the way over to here. 42 staples. Yeah, this is very low carb, only 5 grams of net carbs, but it's also higher in protein. So this has 11 grams of protein in it. Because Dale just started eating again, I'm going to wait on the cinnamon. I'm concerned it might give him nausea. And the coconut cereal isn't high in protein. I didn't realize it was going to take 5 days before Dale could eat again. This is perfect too, because we can put it in the cereal or you can drink it, and it's high protein. But, hang on. It doesn't have a funny aftertaste because it's not full of added vitamins. I met with a nutritionist in ICU and she approved it. She wants Dale to have 1 bottle a day. I have him ready to go at home too. So I'll bring some over for breakfast. He drank 1 yesterday. And I'm going to leave these here cold. I'm going to leave it cold in the fridge until I go. I don't think he's ready for the chocolate one yet. We're going to wait. Tomorrow we'll bring him over chocolate too. The doctor said there's a big possibility we'll go home tomorrow, Wednesday, only 6 days after surgery. Dale is doing so well. I'm really proud of him. He came in good health, but he also mentally prepared himself. Now, the first day in ICU, the nurse was fabulous. She initiated getting him up into the chair. But after that, the nurses didn't initiate that. Dale had to make it happen. I think the second day he had a training nurse, which is fine. She had someone with her, but she was really slow. So Dale had to be aggressive to get moved to the chair. And it's not easy for him. He's not comfortable. He has 2 central lines in the neck. Yeah, in the right. They go straight to the heart for medication. 2 lines in the left arm, an IV and an arterial line. That monitors blood pressure, oxygen, saturation, etc. An IV in the left, 2 drains in his abdomen, and of course his 42 staples. So with all those lines and pain, you'd think he wouldn't ask, but he made sure he got moved to that chair. And I think the first day, by the afternoon, I think they helped him get up and walk just a little bit, or it might have been the next day. Yeah, it's just all run together. So if you have any experience in a longer hospital stay, you'll know that the weekend, it tends to be slower. There's a different staff. Now, this is the best hospital, but Dale still had to ask, I need to walk, because he can't walk independently. But that's why he's doing so well. He didn't just sit back and say, take care of me. Wait for the staff to remind him, move to your chair, get up. He reminded them. I'm so proud of Dale. He's just our champion. Now, it hasn't been easy, but he knew he has to do this. Every day, something came out. Oh, we also had an NG tube at the beginning. It's just like to remove bile. So that came out first. Then slowly, everything, the lines, different things came out. And what's left is only 1 IV and 1 drain. He still has 2 medications coming through the IV, but everything else has been transitioned to oral medicines. And medication for him is lifelong, or the liver will be rejected. You have to be faithful to your medication. He still has to walk with a walker and with assistance. He can't just get up on his own independently. I think PT saw him and went ahead and waved and signed off. But he still has the 2 lines and the IV pole, and he's a tall guy, and he's a little bit off balance right now, so he still has to be watched. He's going to require 24-hour care for a month. And every week we'll come back here to the hospital to clinic. And we'll see the team. They'll draw blood, they'll check for his different levels and rejection. And in between the clinic visit, locally, we'll have to have blood work done. Also, so his blood work is checked twice a week for rejection, and that's so critical. All those staples will stay at least probably 3 more weeks. Every day is a little bit better. He hasn't been able to shower yet because he has that drain, but hopefully that'll come out tomorrow or today. Hopefully today. Sorry for the dim lights, but early in the morning I just can't handle the brightness. I'm better, but of course I'm still stressed. And the thought of going home soon, well, I'm ready, but now all the burden's going to be on me. So let me think. Dale's up walking, and our niece Maggie, she's up walking too. Now they're both over on the comprehensive transplant unit. I think Maggie left ICU on the 2nd day after surgery, and Dale left on the 3rd day after surgery. Maggie is a champ. I mean, it's amazing. She gave Dale 60% of her liver. She's really an amazing woman. Maggie's progress was faster than Dale's. But then yesterday, 2 days ago, she started getting really nauseous. She didn't feel good. It's just taking her gut longer to wake up. 2 days she has struggled. Yesterday, one of Dale's doctor, he was asking him questions. The doctor said donors often feel worse than the recipient because it's a shock to their body all of a sudden to lose full function in an organ. Because she lost more than half of her liver, and the body needs time to adjust. And who gets the liver? And many of them have been struggling with liver failure. Now, Dale's was very healthy. He didn't have liver failure because it was cancer, but still, it wasn't, like Maggie's young body. It wasn't functioning perfectly. So they actually feel better than the donor. Hopefully, they'll both be discharged soon. Maggie's awesome friend flew in to take care of her. She's been here in the hospital rooming in with Maggie 24/7. She was even in ICU with Maggie. And Maggie will be discharged to a hotel until she's permitted to go back home. Because Maggie doesn't live here. We don't live in the same state. But her caregiver is a really sweet, kind, intelligent woman. They're around the same age. They met serving in the Marines together. Every day, she'll ask me what she can do to help me. Maggie, too. Maggie's more concerned about asking me how I'm doing than me asking her how she's doing, but I'm fine. But I'm really impressed with her friend. And like I said, Maggie's an amazing woman. Just the gift of life she's given Dale. Wow. He has an interpreter 24/7. So he'll sit, a staff member will come, and the interpreter will follow them, shadow them. Anything that's voiced in the room, either if they're talking to Dale or talking to other people, the interpreter signs that. Because, patients have the right to know what's going on, just like hearing people. We hear people even if they're not talking to us. We've had some of the best professional interpreters, and we have had some so-so people that need more training. Because I've experienced with my son in the hospital for 3 months in PICU here at Johns Hopkins for his heart. I'm aware. You get a mixture of both. And some deaf people, they just accept that lousy interpreting standard. Sometimes they don't come in with a doctor or voice everything, but we went full access for Dale. And that's the reason I signed these videos. Even though I'm hearing, my family and my friends are deaf. And I believe in full direct communication. In general, interpreters have been great. They've been either really good or quite lacking. Need more training. And I think Dale has provided that training this week. I didn't film. I did film Wednesday, but not after that. It's just been too hard. Taking pictures was challenging enough. I don't mind filming or taking pictures, but it's hard to think clearly. I'm having to focus and prioritize things immediately going on. Thursday, I had a horrible headache from the stress, and I'm not a headache person. But just know that can be normal in these situations, so apologize for not filming more. This might be the only video I film here at the hospital, because like I said, I might be going home tomorrow. I need to pack, load the car, get his medicines, a long list of things to do. So I don't know if I'll be filming tomorrow. So I'm a visual thinker. So I'm trying to remember something, I visually see it. Now, I'm also an auditory thinker, but when I'm trying to recall something, I use visually. But I've noticed this week, when I'm trying to remember something, I can't visually see it because Maggie and Dale are there. Thinking about them is constantly there when I look into my mind. So I have to ask myself, did I eat lunch? I physically have to look in the fridge to see, oh, it's not there anymore. Yes, I ate. Or, nope, it's still there. I need to eat. So my brain is so full of the people that I love that thinking about other things has been difficult. Now, I need to test my blood sugar and my ketones. So if you notice, I've been taking pictures of my meals, and there's what's called GKI, and that is a formula of the blood sugar and the ketones to combine, and it's a better, accurate picture of how deep in ketosis you are. And I'm deep into ketosis. That is how my brain runs best. It's time to go see Dale, and I don't need to forget the milk. Now the cereal is 5 grams of net carbs. Daddy's ready for chips, but I'm going to bring those. Those are 4 grams of net carbs. The chocolate milk is ready. I don't know if he's ready for that. And then the vanilla for the cereal this morning. So come on, let's bring it over.
Video.
All right, there we go. Boom.
Now it's time to cook my lunch. Keto coconut milk yogurt, chia seeds mixed with fruit. Today is cranberries. So altogether it's going to have 6.3 grams of net carbs, a 4-ounce pork patty with 1 serving of sweet red peppers. That's mixed with broth. That's going to be 5 grams of net carbs. Just going to microwave it. And that's 1 ounce of cranberries, half a cup of keto coconut milk yogurt with 1 tablespoon of chia seeds and 1/4 of a teaspoon of liquid stevia. Frozen. Now thawed, and it's still creamy and smooth. Now I'm going to test my blood sugar and my ketones again. and then figure out my GKI. It's the best way to know my level of ketosis, my level of fat burning. My lunchtime supplements is 1.8 grams of net carbs. I think the other day when I labeled the pictures, I put down the wrong amount, but I've got brain fog. That means for the day, well, for lunch, is 13.1 grams of net carbs. I'm going to wash some clothes, eat lunch, rest a little bit, and go back to visit Maggie. She's doing much better. It's time for prescription medicine education. One more. Like discharge instructions, because we're going home tomorrow, only 6 days after surgery. I didn't expect it to be this fast.